Hi everyone, my name is Nichole Carlson, and this has been a much requested video series. I'm not really sure how it's going to turn out, but it's going to be about trauma, healing, forgiveness, self-love, and I am doing this because I am the coach that people go to when their life is in crisis, when their marriage is falling apart, when their business is in the tank, and when they're sabotaging their life and their health, and they're doing everything they can to hold it all together, but really they're also sabotaging their life, and they want to quit and leave it all behind because it's just gotten that bad. And so people will call me at that point to be able to turn their marriages around, to be able to heal from their trauma, to be able to turn their businesses completely around and be able to connect in. Because the hardest thing, I believe, the hardest thing is to be successful and fulfilled. To be successful and truly happy. And that is so elusive these days. And so they call me for this very reason. Yes, they want to have the body, the success, the business, the lifestyle, the spouse, right? They want to have it all. But really, they don't give a fuck unless they're fulfilled, right? At the end of the day, they don't care about money. They care about being fulfilled. And so this is part of it. Healing, self-love, forgiveness is part of it. Because if you cannot go to your core and love yourself, if you cannot forgive your mother, your father, your ex-partner, if you cannot go deep inside of you and heal those wounds, it makes for patterns in your relationship that are just on repeat, and you just end up in the same situation with different partners over and over again. And you just end up with the same patterns over and over again. You can quit one business and go into another, but you're going to have the same problems. You can quit one relationship and go into another, but you're going to have the same problems. So the reason people come to me is because I've been there. I've done that. I've lived this. I've been in the trenches, and I know how to connect to my clients on a level that nobody else knows how to do, because I've been there. And I've been able to transform my life over and over and over again, right? And I've been able to create the business, create the success, create the money, create the lifestyle, create the relationships. Like, I've been able to do this, and people want that because they want to feel fulfilled. That is the most important thing. At the end of the day, that's what we're doing as we're going after all these things that we want, because we think that it's going to fulfill us. And yes and no, right? And so to get success and happiness, it's just so elusive. So that's why they come to me. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is tell you just a little bit about me so that you can match your story up as much as possible, and then change whatever details you need to change to make this make sense for you. Okay, so in my 20s, I married a man that I didn't trust, and I was in a career that I hated. And I had this perfect life, but I was incredibly miserable, right? So I knew about success and money and having it all, and feeling like there was something wrong with me. But what happened earlier, before I got married, was my ex-husband now, at the time we were dating, ended up cheating on me. And my dad also was married to my mom for 24 years, and he ended up cheating on my mom at the same summer. So what happened was I built up a lot of resentment, a lot of anger. And I did what I was supposed to do, right? I forgave. And I never healed myself. And I never really forgave, to be quite honest with you. So I didn't know what to do because I got engaged to this man. And I ended up, after I got engaged, I ended up finding out, like officially finding out, that my dad was cheating and was going to leave the family after 24 years of marriage. And I stopped believing. I stopped believing in love, in marriage. And yet I had this ring on my finger that said, hey, you're going to get married in 7 months. And I went ahead and did it. And so fast forward to last year, I was 41. This is like 15, 20 years later. I was 41 and I had this chronic pain in my legs. And that led me to a deeper sense of forgiveness and healing and trauma healing and all these things that we're going to talk about today. So what I had to do is I had to realize that I had emotional pain and that I was not okay. And that I needed to heal on a deeper level. And what this chronic pain in my legs made me realize is that I needed to forgive. That was one of the things. I needed to forgive my mom, my dad, my ex-husband, and myself. And so I want to take you through what I had to do for myself to forgive. And you can take this exercise and do this as many times as you need to, because you normally cannot just make a decision to forgive and be done with it. You cannot just say, I forgive and I'm okay. Because usually there's a wound that's very deep and it changes what you believe and the way you behave in your relationships and in your business, right? And also what you think you're worth. So many things. So I had to go and I had to forgive. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to, hopefully you're in a comfortable place, but I want you to be in a comfortable, relaxed, seated position and take a deep breath in and take a deep breath out. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in and relax. And breathe out through your mouth. And then I want you to think of the person that you need to forgive. And for me, I chose my dad. I chose to pick my dad first because we actually went through 6 years of not speaking. And by this time last year, I was actually talking to him on good terms, but there was still a lot of pain there. So I chose my dad first. And what you need to do is remember that we all do the best we can with what we know. And that means that every person that you meet, that you come into contact with, has prior pain. They have some kind of wound, or I like to also think of it as a sickness. Not that they're sick, but a wound makes you feel sick. If the wound is bad enough, it makes you want to just go to bed, right? So I think of it as a wound or a sickness or just not knowing, right? So the belief that I had to have was everyone does the best they can with what they know. And my dad did the best he could with what he knew at the time. And that may not seem like that really makes up for it. But when you realize that they come into the picture with their own wounds and their own need for a healing, then it gives you a different perspective. So then I had to think about him as an adult and forgive him. And then I thought about him as a child, and just take the person that you need to forgive and think about them as an adult and forgive them if you can. And then take that person back to a child, to where they probably got wounded, and forgive them. And reach out to them with your eyes closed. Reach out to them in your mind and draw them in. Draw them into you. Hold their hand, give them a hug, and let them know that they're going to be okay. Because you can see now whatever wound that they have, right? From their parents, from a sibling, from something that has happened to them, right? And so just draw them in and love on them and forgive them. And then I want you to, if there's a second person like there was for me, think about that second person and think about them as an adult. And remember to breathe in, breathe out through your mouth, and forgive them, knowing that they did the best they could at the time. And then take them back to when they were a child and love on them. Put out your hand, hold their hand, give them a hug, tell them that they're going to be okay, that they're safe, that they are loved. See that they have been wounded. And spend a moment with them. And then go back to the beginning and go back to you. Go back to when you maybe hurt somebody else or got hurt, and forgive yourself. Even if you've already done it, forgive yourself for allowing yourself, whether you feel like you allowed yourself or not, but allowing yourself to be in that situation, or allowing yourself to stay in that situation, or whatever, change the words that need to be changed, but forgive yourself for being there, or for being in that situation, or for not knowing better, or whatever. Just go ahead and forgive yourself. Take a deep breath in, and then out through your mouth. And then take yourself back to a child. To maybe when you got hurt. Maybe when you hurt somebody else, or some point in your childhood. Just let whatever comes up, come up, because there is no wrong point. And go ahead, and for me, I see myself sitting in a room in Esparto, California, on a bed, and I go up to myself as a child, and I reach out my hand, and then I draw her in, and I tell her she's safe, and I tell her she's loved, and she's protected, because she was going through some things. And then I want you to go back through this process. I want you to go back and pick that first person. And I want you to take a moment and forgive them as an adult. And release that anger, that pain. Remember to breathe in, out through your mouth. And then I want you to go back to when they were a child, when they were wounded, or when they came across something that caused them pain. Whether you know what it is or not, it doesn't matter. But take them back to when they were a child. And I want you to put out your hand or put out your arms, draw them in, and let them know that they're loved and that they are safe. And then I want you to go back to that point when you were an adult and release whatever things that you did wrong, anything that you feel guilty for. And I want you to let all that go. Breathe in through your nose, and let it all go when you breathe out through your mouth. And then I want you to go back and keep going through this process until you feel the release. And let it all go. And keep doing this until you feel like it has released some anger, some pain. And just keep doing it, because I can tell you that it's going to come as layers, right? You're going to have layers through this thing, because I thought that I had forgiven. I didn't talk to my dad for 6 years, and I started talking to him again when I was in my 30s, early 30s. And like I was really angry. I told people that he had died. Like I was that angry. And I thought that I had forgiven, and we talk, and I go over to his house for Christmas. But last year I went to this other level. So I want you to let yourself get to this level, because if you don't, it's going to keep you from the life that you truly want to live. It's going to keep you from loving the people that you want to truly love. It's going to keep you from your purpose. It's going to keep you from that loving relationship that you so desperately desire. So keep going through this process. I know it's hard, but I also know that on the other side of this, there's amazing things for you. So keep going through this, and I'll see you on the next clip. Okay, welcome back. So I was honestly trying to figure out how I can do this, because this is what I call mirror work, and maybe you've heard of it, but I heard the term mirror work and didn't really read exactly what that was, and I just made this. And maybe this is exactly what mirror work is. But this is what I used, because what happened was I had this leg pain for on and off for 3-4 years. And it was so bad that I could not physically sit in a chair. It was just so painful that I pretty much laid down all the time. Driving was a pain, and I just couldn't function on a normal level. And when in September of last year, it got to the point where all my time, energy, and money, honestly, was poured into healing this. And that is why I went through the forgiveness exercise, and that's why I went back and linked up my pain to my abandonment issues, to my dad leaving, to my mom dying of cancer, which I left out in the previous video, and a lot of money issues. So everything was linked up. And this was crucial that I went through these 4 exercises, because it helped me heal my trauma. But the other thing, other than these 4 exercises that helped me heal my trauma, was my decision to heal my trauma. Because at the end of the day, you have to decide that you want to be well. And for a long time, through this, from September to the beginning of this year, probably like 7 months, I did not make that decision inside of me. Yes, I went through and I did all the things, and I was relentless at PT, and I was doing all the stretching, and I was icing and heating. But inside, I had not decided to be well. I had not decided to take responsibility for my own healing. I went to PT and I expected them to take care of me. I went to massage therapy and it was their job to make me feel better. And it wasn't until I decided that I get to feel good and I get to heal that things started happening, right? Before that, it was every day, I'm in pain, I'm in pain, I'm in pain. And it does come down to a decision. It does come down to your desire, your intention, your need to feel good, to heal, to get through this. Because until you have that strong desire, none of this is going to work. None of this is going to work. So, for exercise 2, that should have been exercise 2. But for exercise 2, we are going to do mirror work. So I want you to find a place where you're seated and comfortable and you have a mirror in front of you. And I have my mirror here, which I'm not going to adjust the camera because I can actually see myself there. So we're good. And I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Releasing any tension. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Nose, mouth. Now, I want you to think of things that you want to hear. That if you had a significant other, and if that significant other said sweet things to you, I want you to think about those things that you want that person to say. Whether or not you think that's possible. If you have to go to imaginary land, go there. But think about what you want to hear or what you need to hear. And if you can't think of anything, then you can just follow along with me. I love you. So say this into the mirror. I love you. I'm here for you. I'm not going to leave you. You don't have to worry. Why are you worried? I'm here. I'm going to take care of you. I love you. You don't have to worry. I am here for you. I have you. I love you. I'm going to take care of you. You're going to be okay. We're going to get through this together. You're not going to be alone. And if it feels right, you can put your hand on your heart. Connect into your heart. And if you're not sure if it feels right, try it. And breathe in through your nose and into your heart. And out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Then go back through. I love you. I want to be with you. I want to take care of you. You're going to be okay. I've always been there for you. I will always be there for you. We're together now. And when you say this, I want you to know that there is a part of you that you have not been listening to. There is a part of you that you have not been in touch with. And so when you say these things, you are finally listening to that part that you haven't been listening to. Call it your heart, your soul, your intuition, whatever makes sense for you. But there's a part of you deep inside that has been neglected, that hasn't been heard, validated, understood. And you are just bringing that up and letting that talk. So however you want to imagine this, whether it's you are your heart, your soul, and you're speaking into the mirror at yourself who is not feeling very confident or very strong, or you feel hurt or whatever. Think of one side as your heart, your soul, your intuition, whatever your power part is, and the other side of being the part that's kind of not been heard, not been understood, not been validated. However this makes sense to you. And if you go back through this, I may not have lined everything up exactly, but it doesn't matter. Make it make sense for you. Make this make sense so that you are speaking to you. A powerful side of you is speaking to the unheard side of you. Your soul is talking to your physical self. Your energy is talking to your physical self. However this makes sense for you. But one side has to be taking care of the other side. And you can also even have a conversation. So you can say, what's wrong? Why are you feeling depressed? And usually it'll take a while to get an answer. Why do you feel sad? Why are you crying? Why are you hurt? What can I do for you? How can I be here for you? What do you need? And this is the thing, we don't really listen to ourselves. Here's the thing, we don't really listen to ourselves. And so when we do this, we find answers. When we sit and do this exercise, if you don't know what you want in your relationship, in your life, in your business, you need to take the time to do this, or journal, or meditate. But this is a really good active exercise that you can do to dig deeper and to really connect with yourself in a very different way. So spend some time asking yourself questions. And I've done this to the point where I have cried. I have asked myself, what's wrong? I'm going to take care of you. Tell me what's wrong. And then answered in tears and just been like, holding myself, right? So you can take it to that level. And when you do, it changes your relationship with yourself. You start really connecting in and connecting to your power. And it's so, so good. You might feel a little weird, but it's transformational. So go do this, keep doing this, and I'll see you on the next clip. Okay, so the next exercise is really about energy, even though all of these have been about energy. But this is something that I do often, and I will just do it in my head. And I'm going to actually need to show you how to do this. So you can do this with an image of you or an image of somebody else. So I've done this when I want to connect with myself, give myself more actual energy, like flowing through my body. Or if I need energy and I'm near somebody that I'm connected to, like a partner or a close friend, and I'm near them and I need energy, and so I will siphon their energy through this exercise. But really, when you siphon energy from this person, you both are actually getting energy, okay? So don't worry about depleting somebody's energy. It's all mental. It's all just energy. And when you use this, it creates more energy. So what you do is you will work with a partner, yourself in your head right now. And so you can be my partner. So take your right hand and put it on right here on my chest, right here. So put it right here. So put your hand right there. Okay. Now that you have your hand right there, I'm going to put my hand on your chest, and I'm going to put my hand on your hand. So your hand is here and my hand is on your hand. And then my hand is on your chest and your left hand is on my hand. Okay, so if you are doing this, it's going to be in your head. I've actually never done this with another person, so you're my first. So it's going to be in your head, and it's just going to be this. And of course, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And what you want to do is you want to connect my energy with your energy. So you want to breathe with me. So I put my hand on your chest. So as you breathe, I want you to feel the circulation of energy between us. When you breathe in, feel it come in through your heart from my hand. When you breathe out, circle it back around. Breathe in, take it into your heart. Breathe out, circle it back around. Forgot to breathe. And you can do this for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, however long you need. You can do this on and off throughout the day. You can use yourself. You can use a partner, somebody close to you, whether they're physically close to you. You can use somebody in a different state, a different country, somebody that you feel an energetic connection to. And this is, yes, it's about healing and energy, This is something that I would do when I was in a lot of pain. Because pain is about not having circulating energy. So if you have pain, there's a block, right? And if you can circulate the energy, it helps with the pain. So this is something, if you have chronic fatigue, if you have physical pain, if you have back pain, also go and get that stuff looked at for sure. But this can help generate energy and start moving your emotions and your blocks through your body and creating energy. So that's another exercise that you can and should do. I think it's super powerful, and I just created it myself for my own trauma healing, and it's helped me heal my emotional healing, my past trauma from 15 years ago, helped me heal my physical healing, my legs, and just help me just generate energy. So I hope that's been helpful, and I will see you on the next clip. Okay, so this is a little bit more about your physical and emotional pain. And so what I actually did was I spent a lot of time doing this exercise because I was doing a lot of stretching with my legs, and my pain came from abandonment issues from men. And what also happened was it came from abandonment issues with myself. I abandoned myself, which, if you know, most of us have, right? So that's why we needed to go back and forgive ourselves for abandoning ourselves in those situations, and for staying in relationships that we knew we weren't happy in. Okay, so this is for abandonment issues, emotional issues, physical pain, and trauma. And so what you want to do is you want to go look at Louise Hay's. If you don't know where your pain is coming from or what the cause is, go look at Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life and look up back pain or leg pain or whatever pain that you have, and that will give you a description of what's going on and kind of like what emotional ties are tied to that. Basically, it's probably fear of moving forward, which is like you can kind of say that's a lot of it. Okay, so go look up your symptoms if you don't already know, and then find the pain in your body. So for me, my pain was in my legs. So what I typically did was I would be stretched out on the mat at the gym and hold my legs and just like massage my legs and rub my legs and stretch. And I would breathe in through my nose and out through my mouth, and I would say, I'm here. I love you. I'm not leaving you. And so if your pain is in your back, I'm here. I love you. I'm not leaving you. Whatever it is that you find in like Louise Hay's that you think you need to say to yourself, I'm not going to abandon you. I'm here. I'm here. I love you. And just keep holding and moving and stretching, whatever stretch you need to do with this. So this is a 3-part thing. Figure out what phrase that you need to say, what kind of what phrase you need to say with your pain from the book. You don't have to do that part if you don't have the book. It's fine. You can just use the phrases that I just said. Moving and stretching that part of your body, and also just repeating phrases over and over again and really connecting in, thinking about your heart, connecting into yourself, thinking about your heart, your breathing. Breathe in and breathe out the pain. Breathe in, breathe out the trauma. Breathe in through your nose, breathe out the stress. And just feel your body relax. Okay? And again, I did these exercises to get this pain under control for a very long time. But the pain did not go away until after I decided that I no longer wanted the pain. I had to take full responsibility. I had to say, okay, it's not up to my coach, it's not up to my PT, it's not up to my massage therapist, it's not gonna happen with the ice, it's going to happen with a decision that I am done and I am taking power over my life. And honestly, that is the way everything is going to change for you in your life. Anything. You have to take full responsibility because you are creating your reality. Whether it's pain, trauma, physical pain, emotional pain, whatever you're going through, or you're in a bad relationship, or you're dealing with your business and money issues, or your health. Nothing's going to change until you say, enough is enough. I am taking full responsibility. Whatever happens has happened in the past, it's fine. But now I'm drawing the line and I can take this. I can take this back and I can figure this out. And it was flipping the switch, honestly, because nothing happens for me without intention, right? But I did. I went through the emotional healing. I went through and did the physical therapy. I did all the things that I needed to do to lead me up to this point where I finally had to just make the decision. And that's the way it is. I could have probably started with the decision, but I still would have had to go through the emotional healing with my dad, my ex-husband, myself. I probably still would have had to do some of the physical therapy, but it would have been a lot shorter. But really, it comes to you deciding that you are done with whatever life problem that you have. So I hope this has been helpful. If you have pain, trauma, emotional pain, things coming up in your relationship problems that keep following you, business problems, if you have anything that's aligned with any of this, if you are in crisis mode, reach out to me, because nothing's going to change if you're doing it on your own, because nothing has changed. Even this video will only get you so far. You need a deep transformation and you need to take it to the next level. And until you do that, you're going to stay where you are. So please go back, watch this video, take this in. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. And if you need to talk to me, if you need to schedule a call, let me know. I'll have a way with the video to schedule a call with me, and I will see you probably on my Facebook page. Bye.